guys, Keen. I'm back on another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Raw after WrestleMania, which this blew it out the water. It blew out the water, and I believe this is the best Raw after Mania. It really felt like it felt like a new season. It felt like everything was getting into place because it is a new season. It's a new season of Raw. It's a new season of SmackDown. And this makes me all the more excited for what they have for us this week on SmackDown. Hopefully, it's some good. But who opened up the show? Guess who opened up the show? Our new WWE Undisputed Champion, John Cena. I was disappointed. Gonna get it out there now that we didn't even have anything via satellite from The Rock. But there's some things in me that's saying allow John Cena to be John Cena. You know what I'm saying? Just take whatever was said out the window. Like, just throw it all out the window. It doesn't matter until it matters, because there's nothing currently that really goes back to him. Other than the heel turn, which that could have happened. That could have already been in the plan to happen on Sunday night. So it is what it is. But John Cena was hilarious, and this version of him is a heel, but he's like a selfish heel. Like, at the end of the day, he's more so justified than just doing things to do it just to be evil. And I do enjoy that, because at the end of the day, this is he's showing that he has love for this industry. He has love for this company, but it didn't love him in the way that he wanted to love him. Y'all didn't love him the way he wanted y'all to love him. But I'll say this, WWE is toxic. WWE is a toxic relationship that we are in, because they gave me something that I did not like during WrestleMania. I'll say that. And then they give me this. They give me this fire episode of Raw. And John Cena, being John Cena, this version of John Cena, basically wanted everybody to recognize and acknowledge him. And while he did that, RKO out of nowhere. Like, literally out of nowhere, because I expected them to do this program. I expected them to do a John Cena versus Randy Orton, but I didn't expect it to happen so soon. I literally just expected John Cena to come out, talk some trash, and then bounce. But no, we are getting Randy Orton versus John Cena at Backlash, and they haven't announced it yet. But we all know the man is on the cover of Backlash, and this is his home city, like his home state. So I just know they're gonna go crazy, and it's so interesting that we're gonna get a heel John Cena versus a face Randy Orton. That's never happened in their days of having their rivalry, which I think it makes it even more sweeter. It makes it sweeter because we're seeing these different possibilities, as if we're like in an alternate universe or something. I'm really just enjoying this, and seeing him count down the days of his appearances made me sad. Like, I just hope I get to see John Cena before he decides to retire, before December, because he said it's a hard out. It's a hard out. Come December, he really gonna be gone. He's not doing none of that stuff that everybody else does. I have to say this right here. I'm very conflicted, because y'all know I was not feeling Becky Lynch coming back and having that opportunity where Bayley kind of should have been, and then one of those tag team titles. And I want to say they redeemed themselves, but it's like, I just don't know how. I have no idea how to feel. I'm just glad Liv Morgan and Raquel got their titles back, and it's not necessarily because I like them. It's because I respect them, and I really want tag teams to be tag teams. The work that Bianca, and NAOMI put through in them titles, I need it to stay like that. I need them to still have that, because they did something special. So we don't need all that progress to be undone. The way that Lyra took three finishers to knock Lyra out, that's my girl. That is my girl. I love her so much, because it took everything to get her out. And I was thinking the whole match, where's Becky Lynch? Where is Becky Lynch now? This ain't making no sense. Makes no sense at all. And then, Lyra takes the pin. Number one, all right, Lyra takes the pin, a little upset, and then Becky decides to turn on her. Now, what gave me the inkling that this one was going to turn is the fact that she called, like, of course you're going to celebrate your husband, but when you're normally when you're a face and the person you're with is a heel, they kind of ignore each other's accomplishments, and she literally was jumping for joy in the back, and I was like, girl, you a face. What are you doing? And I just had a feeling she was going to turn. I had a feeling she was going to turn. I just didn't expect it to happen then, because she attacked Bailey. But like Becky doing that, disrespectful, because it's not like Lyra was trash. It's not like Lyra was not putting her all down. No, you was laying out on the floor. You could not help Lyra at all. Lyra needed your help and you couldn't help her. So don't blame Lyra for your mistakes too. Don't do that. That's what really made me upset. But you know, as long as Becky don't get the title. As long as Becky don't get the IC championship, I'm here for this feud because it's only going to elevate Lyra Valkyria. It's only going to take her to even more a higher level because you get that kind of rub. You know what I'm saying? You get more of that rub on the main roster. The New Day. The New Day. I don't care what nobody says. I was excited to see them, and it's really a conversation for the New Day and the Usos being almost they neck and neck and being the best tag teams, and the New Day having a little kind of coming out parading their titles. I can't be mad at them no more. They've done what I wanted them to do. They've reached it. I can't be upset. When I saw Alpha Academy come out, I was upset because I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna have that. I need them boys to stay on them titles for, have them have their titles for 100 days, then have their first defense, and then wait another 100 days to have their next defense, okay? Let's look at that Judgment Day type of treatment. But Alpha Academy came out, and I was like, oh, it's Otis until it's out. Maxine did good. I'm just glad we didn't have nothing questionable happen, because Rusev came back. And I don't know what type of way they're gonna do his character, so I'm just intrigued in seeing how that will go. I liked Rusev when he was at WWE. I didn't really watch him in AEW. I don't really watch the AEW. I see clips and things, but I'm excited to see that. And I believe Lana and I think Lana signed a Legends contract, which interesting. But you know, it's neither here nor there. Rusev made a statement, so I'm excited in seeing that. Sometimes I forget that man is bald. I forget, I won't lie. This right here surprised me. I was expecting something else. I won't act as if I wasn't a tad bit disappointed, but that disappointment really went away very fast when I saw Io Sky and then Stephanie, like them having a match on Raw. That caught me off guard, and I believe more things like that need to occur. But it was so good seeing that match because they both are so talented. And although I don't know too much about Stephanie, I know that she's talented. I know every time I see a match of hers, she's doing her thing. So that, I was like, there's like nobody can take a pin here. And in that moment, Roxanne Perez and Julia comes out. Them being cool, I guess the enemy of my enemy is my friend, because I thought they was beefing. It's been a bit, but I thought them girls was beefing, but I guess they cool now. And I did not expect Rhea to come out, but I believe that it's because Rhea believes the WWE main roster is her turf. On Raw, that's her turf, so she's not gonna let anything just happen, anything just go down, which I respect. She being there for her friend. What was interesting is that Bianca Belair was nowhere to be found. And I understand the fact that she is not a Raw superstar, but to have her come from such a great triple threat match and from winning the Elimination Chamber to not request for a rematch at Backlash was very interesting. I'm not upset that she will be probably back into the Big Three storyline. it's just the Big Three storyline is the one storyline that I don't believe needs to be rushed at all. Like, if you're gonna give me a triple threat, baby, I don't want to see that so soon. We better wait till SummerSlam, because we need to wait till SummerSlam. That's all I'm gonna say. We might get a Naomi versus Bianca. We might have a Naomi versus Bianca, and then, you know what I'm saying, get that triple threat out the way. Or even not, who knows, maybe Bianca goes after Tiffany Stratton, which would be warranted, considering the fact that Tiffany got her dub after Bianca did the work. So her coming to Raw and deciding, her coming to SmackDown and deciding, I'm gonna take you down, it works. We get the title out of it. It works. It works. It works. It was a feel-good moment of the night. And that was Jey Uso coming out and celebrating his World Heavyweight Championship win. I just hope they book him properly. I hope that he has a great time as a world champion, because he deserves it. He worked hard for this. And then that montage, that video, that almost made me cry. It was so sweet. It was so sweet, man. And Sami Zayn being the first one to congratulate him was very interesting. I think it's because we already saw Jimmy come out and congratulated him, so we needed somebody else who is very near and dear to the story of the rise of Jey Uso to come out as well. My big thing, though, that I am just thinking on is the fact that, Roman didn't come out. Now, Roman was declared tribal chief, and I don't believe Roman needs to be everywhere in Jay's face or everywhere in Jay's story. But if that's the tribal chief, wouldn't the tribal chief have some type of congratulating or a moment? And I don't care that man was hurt. And what that mean? What that mean for Jay? Sometimes you gotta put your pride aside and be out there and eat with your cousin, nephew, brother. That's what you need to do. Suck it up. But I love seeing Jimmy and Jay with Sammy. I'm keeping an eye on Sammy, though. I'm keeping an eye on Sammy, and I'm gonna talk about why at the end. This right here. I'm gonna need them to never, ever, 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 ever put me in a position where I am rooting for Judgment Day. Okay? Them putting me in a position where I popped for JD McDonough almost made my heart hurt. Because the match between Penta and Dominic Mysterio, very good. And I would like to say this. Dominic Mysterio goes in that ring acting like the 20-year vet that he is. I respect it so much. And to see Finn Balor kind of get over it, which I don't even know if he got over it. I think he's more so going to add another member or something of the sort, in a way that doesn't bode well for everybody. Cause that man gonna stay salty. I think he's gonna stay salty, but neither here nor there. What really had me, I was scared, because if the women's tag team was able to get taken away like that, Dominic could have got taken away either, too. Especially with the reaction from the crowd, like, there is a way they could have swerved us. But to have Dominic Mysterio pin Penta, like, at this point, I'm gonna just say it now, I am a Dominic Mysterio fan. I am. And it might look like that I'm being a Judgment Day fan. Like, they got me back in. I wanted them to be done with it, but this is a new story, and it's kind of feel good. It kind of makes you feel good. So, dare I say, they might have turned face. Like, there has to be somebody they go against to make the crowd boo them again. Somebody crazy got to go like that. And I just can't believe I popped for JD McDonough. Never in my life would I have guessed that. Now, before that match, Gunther is mad. Gunther is pissed. Gunther came out and decided, yeah, let me talk. And everybody saying, you tapped out. And for all them Gunther fans in the crowd, I feel like I spotted a Gunther fan because he was like, the person was just like kind of looking salty. But Michael and Pat McAfee was basically taunting Gunther, which bad idea. Bad idea. I don't care who you are. For protection of the press don't matter. That don't matter. Hey, it's Gunther. So Gunther almost chokes out Michael, but instead he chokes out Pat McAfee, which, man of the people. No, just like, Gunther literally choked Pat McAfee out. That man's face was turning purple. Everything was red after the fact. I was like, oh, okay. Jay's fight is not done. Unless, when they do the draft, Gunther may go to SmackDown, but his fight is not done with. And I need Jay to stay 10 toes down. Solid. Because he needs to keep that belt. He don't need to be, it doesn't need to be like the Intercontinental Championship. Now, the main event was a little, it was supposed to be an exclamation of some sort about what happened at WrestleMania from Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, but it really wasn't. Instead, Seth Rollins wanted to cosplay as a little bit of how Roman Reigns was. I feel as though Seth Rollins want to be Roman Reigns, just a tad bit. A spin on Roman Reigns, just a little bit. You taking his wise man, taking his pose. Then Paul Heyman says this is the undisputed #1 of the company, and I'm like, Cody. And CM Punk didn't respect that. He came out ready to fight. That didn't bode well for him in the end, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So Roman Reigns decided to come up to work. I'm shocked, appalled, cause like, but I get it was for a fact. You needed to surprise Roman. You couldn't waste. I'm not gonna say waste, but you couldn't waste Roman on a eating moment when you have such a good man. You have such a stacked main event, and Roman comes in there, breaks a little shot, but then somebody with a hoodie comes out and spears Roman Reigns. I'm like, what the heck? Ain't no way. It's not gonna be a bloodline thing over and over again. No, it's not. Instead, we see Bron Breakker, and I knew when that spear happened, it was Bron Breakker. I don't know if Roman either has to get the inner football player in him to revamp his spear, or needs to retire the spear, because you can't be spearing around Bron Breakker. You just can't. You can't, okay? It's not the same. Y'all are not the same. I'm sorry. This right here was a swerve. I did not see, I could see the idea of Bron Breakker being a Paul Heyman guy, which benefits him 100%, because now my criticism of him not being able to be the best on the mic, it don't matter no more. You got Paul Heyman. So he is solid. Going forward, that man is solid. But those two being together, and then the Paul Heyman, I'm just wondering if this is going to be a Evolution Part 2. I think that, yeah, that's what they call it. Part 2.0. Or, like, how many members are we going to have? Because Seth Rollins is going to, or like an authority, not going to be an authority thing. Because Seth Rollins is going to add more members. I really wanted, if the possibility of NAOMI possibly being a Paul Heyman girly, but I can see Becky Lynch being a Paul Heyman girly now more than I can see NAOMI. But this main event shook me to my core. I really believe Roman got on that jet and went back home to Florida. That's what I thought. So for that to be as far as it is, and for Friday to be like also going to be on that same type of energy, I'm just interested in what they have next for us. Karrion Kross had a moment as well. He had a huge pop, I might add. And I believe Karrion Kross may be going after Logan Paul, which if he does, I need him to have him up. But look, Karrion Kross is like the guy he's the guy that you see before disaster. And Karrion Kross set his sights on Sami Zayn, yet we did not see anything like a turn or anything from Sami Zayn. He continued saying that good guy, but everybody else except for AJ Styles, because he's still in AJ Styles' ear, has had a turn in different characters. So I am wondering, and I'm putting it out there, what if Sami Zayn decides to turn on Jay somehow, some way, or decides to join Seth Rollins. It would not be out the way because we have not seen the effects of carrying a cross yet on him. So I'm excited to see that. And I'm excited for the rest of the year wrestling-wise and the matches that they're going to have set for Backlash. But you guys let me know how you feel about this episode of Raw. And thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye!